So encourage the heart is an interesting practice because it's the only practice, the leadership challenge, which is this model, is the only leadership model that talks about it so explicitly, strangely enough. But throughout history, if you look at any historical leader, and particularly military leaders, which is the one place where you would think encourage the heart, give me a break. Particularly military leaders were exceptional at expressing confidence and love for their men going into battle. And they were pretty exceptional as well at the end of the battle. There's medals in the military. There's formal recognitions and there's a big deal about them. So even at that level of hard violence, defending nations, there's a recognition that encourage the heart is a really important leadership practice. And you'll also see this when you look at examples. You watch any movie, you watch the hero. The hero will tend to express confidence in people in the darkest hour. They'll encourage people along when things get tough. And if they keep centering on punishment instead of encouragement, people eventually lose heart. And there's a quote in our slides here that says, if people are not changing fast enough, if they're not embracing change fast enough, it's because you're not encouraging them. Because if you keep on worrying about or pointing out what they're missing, what's the effect on you? You lose heart. It'd be a bit like, teaching your first child to walk. And every time they stumble a little bit, you go, it's not really good, It's not that good enough, I was an Olympic athlete by your age, and look at you, And this is supposed to get them to walk better? So that's one of the key elements of encouraging a heart is just the simple act of expressing appreciation and thanks for people. But as we've talked about, what we call the shadow of this is insincerity. This is not something you can fake. However, as a leader, the challenge is if you're not used to doing it, you're not good at doing it, you have to fake it initially. It's like that awkward practicing. So if if you have your team meeting, and hopefully if they're watching this video, you decide you want to encourage the heart, I would ask your team members to have a bit of tolerance for what feels like fake, because there's no other way to start habituating yourself to it, unfortunately. It's not that easy, and it will feel a bit fake. But what you cultivate and practice, you get good at, and then it becomes more and more sincere over time, just like the audio we listen to. This is something worth cultivating, not even necessarily for your team members. This is just a whole lot more fun way to live, to be able to thank and reward. And then the other piece of encourage the heart is celebrations. And it's like the marking of time, which is really, really important. So when things have been done well or a project is complete, is to take that little bit of time, even if it's half an hour and it's a special cup of coffee for someone, just the simple gestures of marking time. We've succeeded at something. Let's take a little bit of appreciation for it, and a bit of fun and celebration is really important as well. Because again, leadership and organizational success is about engagement. It's people want to be there, they want to do the job, they want to go the extra mile. And encouraging the heart's a crucial piece of that. And it's the only book, interestingly enough, that Kouzes and Posner, these authors have written. They've written a full book, apart from the Leadership Challenge, just on encourage the heart. And there's even research, amazingly enough, that makes sense to the bottom line, just to make it really cold, to encourage the heart.